Hello Instagram fam. I am back on the IGTVs. Haven't done this for a while, so a little bit nervous but also excited to just speak and share intuitively what's come up just today. I find it really hard to prepare content because I get so triggered or excited or motivated to share as things come into my reality. And I really wanted to speak to intuition, which is often where I'm speaking from. It's this deep body sense that this is important. My body gets chills, truth bumps. I call goosebumps truth bumps when I know information is important and I need to pay attention. And often when I get those downloads or I receive that information, my next great desire is to share it with you, to spread it like wildfire. And I'm feeling like a wild bitch today because I'm in my luteal phase. And just kind of taking a temperature check of the world and health and body autonomy and trust in body and trust in nature. And I've touched on a couple of these topics in the past in code language because I've been censored many times on this platform, which in itself is very aggravating. But just learning to really speak the truth, speak my truth, share alternative opinions, and more than anything, inspire and invite women back home to their bodies, to their individual truths, to their intuition. So on that kind of trajectory, I want to introduce the Moon Lodge for any new women who have signed up for my newsletters or who are on this weird video platform with me. Just why Moon Lodge? Why Moon Lodge facilitator training? Why women's circles? And I have to kind of go back to my first women's circle, which was, like almost 7 years ago. I was in Croatia, actually before I even went to Croatia, I met this elder lady. She was like in her late 60s, Mahalakshmi or Laila, and we met at a early morning sober rave in London. And she was just this crazy free woman. She had a little backpack. She was just traveling through Europe, going to festivals, hosting women's circles and moon circles. And I feel like she was this gift of a mentor, a guide. I'd never really connected to my grandmothers. I didn't have that connection to a elder who really knew the truths of the universe and the earth and the womb and was still embodying like a very matriarchal or maternal instinct. And she was pretty radical. I mean, she didn't subscribe to any patriarchal agenda of what an elder lady should be like or look like or behave like. She was just free and trusting, like completely trusting of the world and herself and her position as a wise woman, as an elder woman that was meant to be at festivals, that had wisdom, that wasn't locked up in an old age home. And it was the first time I'd really witnessed this free, liberated woman of that age and that generation. And she told me, we need to go to Croatia. There's a festival happening. I feel a call to be there. I was just like, kind of crazy, but okay. She's like, let's just book our flights. We don't have tickets, it's sold out, but we'll just go. And, she's like, just trust, trust that things will work out if your intention is pure. And that was the first time I'd really been exposed to that type of thinking, like where you really surrender to something greater than yourself because you're on a path of service. I mean, she had nothing. She just had her little backpack. She had snacks and food. And I remember she had all these different tea bags that she'd collected at different events and things. And she lived a very simple life and was completely devoted to awakening woman, awakening wild, wise woman. And I just had this deep intuition that this is where I need to be and go. And we ended up getting our flights, landing in Croatia. Long story short, we got there at night. The boat that was supposed to take us to the island, the taxi boats had ended. There was no way of getting there. like magic, this musician arrives with his guitar and he's kind of playing at the docks at the harbor, and she like goes up to him and she asks if he's going to the festival, and of course he is, and he invites us onto his boat, and we end up at this festival, and we're at the front kind of check-in desk, and they're like, where's your bands, where's your kind of cottage, like where's your tickets basically. And we obviously didn't have any of that, but she started sharing about why she felt called to come and her work in women's work and women's healing. And there were 3 ladies behind the desk, and 2 were kind of skeptical, but the woman who was at the computer, she just started crying. And she just cried, and she's like, she just felt the truth of what this elder was sharing and the importance of her being there. And anyway, long story short, we got the cottage, we stayed there for 10 days, and she hosted a moon lodge, a women's circle. And I remember going into it just kind of like, what is this? Women sitting in circle. We all sang, we all spoke about our feelings, and it was so cathartic. I'd never seen women vulnerable with other women and really breaking down in front of each other and being completely trusting that this is a safe place for them to land and for them to share their concerns about their relationships, about being a mother, about their fears and their pains in their jobs, just simple things, their experience of abuse, their experience of living in a world that wasn't kind or gentle to their bodies. And to witness so many women in this space, a reflection of all the different parts of my womanhood, was one of the most awakening and cathartic moments of my life, where I just realized, like, wow, I've been so alone. I'm even gonna get emotional. I felt so alone in this yearning for sisterhood, for women, for like a mentor, for a female elder to kind of guide me, because we've lost that. We've like lost grandmother wisdom, earth-based wisdom, like wisdom that's really connected to the womb. And it just changed like the trajectory of my life and my healing path. You know, I stopped looking for doctors and experts and, you know, these kind of really expensive, certified people, and just trusted the women that came into my path, and trusted this work of service, of connecting to something greater than myself, of, you know, returning to temples, returning to the goddess within and the goddess throughout. And so that's what inspired me to then host my own moon lodges and my own women's circles, and just be really brave in this belief and this deep knowing that I also have the ability to hold space. And every woman, when you put her in that environment, gets to reconnect with this kind of inner child, this inner free spirit, that once she is safe, she can really express herself. She can really tune into what she actually desires and what she's really here for. I believe all women are witches. You know, witch is just a term. It's a healer. It's a spiritual woman, a woman who's not afraid of her spiritual power. We are not just bodies. We're not just material. There is so much more magic in the world. And over time, we've just been told to fear it, or we've shamed women for having dreams or psychic gifts or these deep inner knowings. And my anger today at the world and the state of the world and this crisis that we're in is that we have been robbed of our intuition and consistently made to fear our own body's ability to heal, our own natural instinct of what is right or wrong. We are constantly seeking experts and like medical professionals or scientists to tell us about ourselves, and nobody can tell you about yourself but you. And there's particular harm and abuse on women's bodies because most of the people who are in those spaces are not women. They do not have wombs. They have not lived the experiences that we've lived. And so it's very difficult to then prescribe to me how I need to fix this pain or this trauma that I've gone through. So my excitement and my devotion is to then create spaces and help to empower other women to hold these spaces, because it also breaks the hierarchy and the trauma triangle where it's like, I'm going to save you and you're a victim. Instead, it kind of creates the circle, which is we are all equal here. We are all learning from each other. I am no wiser than you. I just have a certain amount of tools and experiences in my toolbox. And when I bring that into the circle and you bring yours, we all learn from each other. And there's this, this kind of like natural, empowering, awakening moment of healing for each other. That's the sacred sisterhood. That is women's circles. That's the red tent. That's how we learned most of the things that we, used to know, because we don't know a lot of them now. We've lost a lot of them. But they're coming back, and yeah, all this excitement and all this energy is just to say that I host this and I invite you. And if you're afraid or if you feel like it's not for you, just try it out, come and see and play and let your walls down and let yourself break, let yourself break open. Grief and emotion and feeling is the greatest healing, because when we start to feel again and we get out of our minds and the control of wanting to like remain perfect or remain healthy or follow this very strict trajectory, we can just be, we can soften, we can trust, we can play with the spiral of life. And that's my little share for today. I am also opening up my first sort of live coaching group, which is the facilitator training. I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of one-on-ones this year, because again, I want to break that hierarchy dynamic and really make healing and coaching and guiding be a very group-oriented thing. I find it's much more exponentially beneficial for women, and it allows other women to activate their gifts, because we all have magic. We all have healing hands, healing hearts, healing wisdom and experiences to share. So it'll be a limited number and we will start in February. You don't have to want to be a facilitator to join this training. It's really more of an internal study of self and just a sharing of ancient feminine wisdom, and a place to go deep with a group of committed women for 8 weeks, where we look at our shadows, we look at our fears, we learn to express ourselves, we learn how to hold space in a truly authentic way. And one thing I have to say, that this is not a therapeutic, saving space. I'm not going to fix you. I'm not going to solve all your problems or make it go away. It may very well bring up a lot of your shadow and a lot of your triggers. And the invitation is to then dance with that, express that, speak your needs, express, what you need support with. So yes, I'm really excited. The first Moon Lodge will be on the 1st of Feb, so you can have a little taster of what that kind of space holding looks like. And then we will start the training on the first Thursday of that week. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can message me. I will share the actual sales page and everything later this week. But I just wanted to invite you all back into that space and back into your hearts and your bodies and your wombs, and I'm just really grateful to be here, to be of service in this way. So all my love, and have a beautiful day.